Well, welcome everybody to the Wednesday night loving kindness class and loving kindness or metta class. My name is Alex. It's wonderful to be here with you today. And tonight, as always, always a little strange. It's still light out, but I like it. Hopefully, you're getting used to the time change. Hello, Brian and Linda online, and Jean online. It's wonderful to see you guys as always. So let's go ahead. There's only a couple of people here live. That's okay. Have you been to the Dharma Bum Temple before, sir? You have? Okay. So you know what you're doing. I'll just assume. Well, relatively speaking, you know. All right. Whew, okay. So it's really good to be with you guys here today, and since you've all been here before and you know what the deal is. Good morning, evening. Evening. We're going to go ahead and just get on with it. We're going to do our metta meditation here without a whole lot of introduction. And so this is going to save us a little bit of time at the end to talk about whatever we want to talk about. Let's talk about whatever questions you have and all of that. And I don't know who what was it just said hello, but hello online. All right. Okay, everybody, let's get into our posture of meditation. Let me get my timer all set up and let us begin. And just allow your eyes to close. Again, making sure you have that position that's nice and comfortable for you, nice and sustainable, so you're not likely to move around too much. And when we sit like a Buddha. And you can even imagine yourselves as a Buddha sitting underneath your own tree of enlightenment. It could be whatever tree you want. Each Buddha has their own tree. So even during a loving kindness meditation or any meditation, you always want to have at least 25% of your attention on the breath that keep you anchored. The breath is our anchor. The breath is our home. That place we can always come back to, whether we're sitting in meditation or experiencing our day. The breath is always with us, and we can use it just to ground ourselves to the present moment as much as possible. So just breathing in and out, just finding out what kind of breath will nourish the body, what kind of breath will make the body like awake and alert so you can focus on what you're doing. If you find yourself getting sleepy, just take some deep breaths until you wake up, or if you want, you can open your eyes and stretch, stand up if you want even. So just for the next few minutes, let's just rest as gently as we can in the sensations of the breath. So, to begin our practice of loving kindness meditation, we're first going to think of a benefactor. And a benefactor is just a loved one, anyone who has shown us great love or great kindness, someone it's really easy to have these feelings for. And so, in this meditation and meant to meditation, we radiate kindness to our loved one, wishing them happiness, wishing them that they do the things that cause happiness. They're positive and well intentioned. Another word for that is skillful thoughts, words, and actions. This will bring them happiness. So, our intention for them is to radiate loving kindness to them, hoping, wishing them happiness and health and good, peace, wishing they do the things that cause happiness. And we smile while we do it because smiling puts our mind in a better mood. You can have one benefactor, 10 benefactors. It's all up to you. So just for the next few moments, we'll do this practice of loving kindness, radiating loving kindness to our benefactor. And so shifting our focus just a little bit from doing this practice for our benefactor to now doing imagining our benefactor doing this practice for us. Our benefactor is our benefactor for a reason, because we have their experience of loving kindness in our own hearts. We know what that feels like. So this should be relatively easy and straightforward. Imagining our benefactor radiating loving kindness to us. And you can picture them and picture them smiling at you, and you're smiling back at them, and you're just letting all of their loving kindness into your heart. That's all you have to do. Just allow it all. Allow all of it. If there's any tension or tightness, that's okay. There's no need to freak out or get worried. Can you then breathe into that part of the body that's feeling the tension and tightness? Just giving it a little space just to work out its tension. Still smiling, because that just puts the mind in a better mood and makes your job easier here in meditation. So just allow all of their loving kindness into your heart. Notice what that feels like, and you can do that. We'll just do this for the next few moments. shifting our focus again to probably really important part of this meditation is to do this practice of loving kindness for yourself. So just call to mind your own wish to be happy, your own wish to be free from pain, to be healthy, to be at peace, to be safe and protected. And it's the same wish that everyone has for themselves. And you can radiate loving kindness back onto yourself. You can imagine your heart getting bigger, or you can just repeat phrases of loving kindness for you. One or more of the following is fine. May I be happy. May I be safe from inner and outer danger. May I be well in body and mind. May I be at peace and live at ease in this world. And again, you can say one or more of those. Just gently, say it gently to your own heart. Notice the response that you get. If there's any tension, breathe into that as much as you can. Gently breathe in and gently breathe out. And smile as always, it helps so much. And we'll do this for the next few moments. Now, finally, the final part of our meditation is we can explore the limitless quality of the heart, because that is the potential of the heart. When loving kindness is practiced regularly and diligently, the heart becomes, you have so much love for yourself that this love just naturally spills out onto all beings in all directions, no matter who or what they are. So we can practice this by just extending our heart out as far as we can go. Doing this practice for all beings in all directions. It's just a practice, so we don't have to be perfect at it. Just go as far out as you can go for as long as you can go. And smile as always. And we'll do that to end this practice, this meditation. And just allow your eyes to open. And we're just going to take the next couple of moments out in silence as we stretch our arms and we stretch our legs, keeping that mindfulness of loving kindness about us so we don't lose it. Just because we're sitting in a formal meditation doesn't mean we have to stop thinking loving thoughts. So we're gonna take probably the next minute and just stretch and just reflect. If you have any questions or comments about the instructions or the meditation at all, we can certainly talk about that. I'm going to talk just for a couple of minutes at the outset, just to give you some time. Okay. Well, this was, obviously very interesting for me. I always say, well, this is good for me at the end of the meditation. It is always good for me. Regardless of whether I have an easy time or a difficult time or something in between. But something really interesting happened when I first went live and first started class, is that I had, a bit of a anxiety episode. Now I've suffered from depression, anxiety for a long time, and I take medication for it. I'm happy to disclose that. I don't think there's any shame in that. But these kind of waves of anxiety still present themselves from time to time. And at the beginning of class, I forgot what I normally say. This kind of wave came over me, like, I don't know what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to say. And so that's why I said, we're just going to get into the meditation. And, while, you were all doing loving kindness, the only thing I was really trying to do is to ground myself. And you can do that in a loving and a kind way, because, I can't tell you how much smiling helps. And I understand that a lot of times, when you come to spiritual practice or you come to Buddhism or you come to something else and you're sitting in meditation and they ask you to smile while you're doing it. And when I was first given this instruction, I tried it, but it just seemed so phony and so fake. Well, I'm not happy. Why should I smile? This is a very serious deal here, this meditation. I'm suffering, and I want to take this. I want to take this seriously. And so over time, when the smiling has gotten easier, I've seen how it's just so much helpful to me in whatever I'm doing in meditation, that if I smile, it just puts your mind in a better mood all the time. And so you can better concentrate on what you're doing. You can even see all these pictures, the tankas and all the statuaries of the Buddha. He always has the tiniest grin on his face. Now, I need more than a tiny grin on my face to feel happy, or just to kind of feel that in my own heart. But doing that just really helped me so much with this kind of anxiety episode. And, I really wasn't doing any loving kindness meditation. I was just grounding the hell out of myself. Because, when anxiety is very ungrounding, and for me, it's just a very shaky thing. And so I just need to like feel my feet on the ground. I need to feel the breath coming in and out of my body. I need to feel my body. I need to feel where this anxiety is, what part of the body is my anxiety, and can I breathe into that as I smile and try to make my mind happy. And this is an instruction that took me a long time to actually do. I got the instruction relatively early in my practice, but I would never really do it because I thought you have to be so serious. Because this is a serious business. But again, over time, I learned how just useful and helpful this is. Um, so I don't know if you noticed, but there was a couple of times where I kind of went longer in certain parts of the meditation, and that was just because I was trying to ground myself, and I just kind of lost all track of time. So that's just kind of where I was, um, which is so interesting. Um, and another thing, now I'm not talking about myself, uh, that I was thinking about, and something that I've seen, um, especially online, um, and it relates to loving kindness for yourself. And I've certainly been guilty of this. And if you go back into any of my other videos, and I've provided some information, and my mistake was that I provided information without enough context for that information. Like I knew what I meant, but I don't think I was really good at explaining what I meant. And I've seen this online a lot of times in videos and in the spiritual world, and people saying that you can't love anybody else until you love yourself. That's a really dangerous blanket statement to make. And I've said things very similar to that here, but again, I didn't provide a whole lot of context. If you want to find someone else to love, you have to love yourself first. Those two things are really dangerous statements to make, because they say and they kind of infer that the love that you give or that you try to give, it has no value. And the love that you try to give isn't good enough. So that just makes you feel worse when you listen to those statements and statements like it. If you're feeling down and you're feeling depressed, or you're dealing with depression or anything like that, and you hear a statement like that, it could be really distressing. Like, well, I can't do anything. I can't love anybody. I can't do anything unless I love myself first. But that's the thing that we're conditioned against doing. So how is this going to help me? So it seems like this kind of big obstacle to overcome. And so this isn't true. Love and giving love and all of these things are a skill that we need to develop. And it's not, and your love has value even if you don't love yourself as much as you think that you should. So keep on doing it and keep on practicing, because it has value and it is worth it. I think that I haven't provided a lot of context like myself in the past, because this is, it's kind of like the Eightfold Path. As someone in recovery like myself, when you do the steps of recovery, the 12 steps, you do them in order. You do step 1, and then you do step 2, and then you do step 3. All you wait till you get to 12, and then maybe you do them again, or do a particular step or something like that. But when you initially do them, you do them in order, and you do them in order for a very specific reason, right? The Eightfold Path is not like that. The Noble Eightfold Path and different parts of practice, like the heart practices of loving kindness and compassion and empathetic joy and equanimity, are all practiced together. They're all practiced together. You do it. You just do whatever you're going to do. Just Do it all at the same time, and that's okay. So we always try to practice the precepts at the same time. We always practice to be loving at the same time. But these things we know we're not going to be perfect at, and it takes some time in development to get really good at it. And we see over time is like, oh, I'm better at being loving, at doing this loving kindness because I'm better at showing loving kindness to the people in a more skillful way. Uh, so, for example, for people you don't like, you don't have to be kind of overly sugary sweet to them. You don't have to even deal with them at first. You could just do something that's really, really easy. Like someone you really care about and love, you can just be loving, kind, more loving and kind to them. And then eventually you'll get to the more difficult people, and that's fine. And so again, you do all of these steps at the same time, and it's okay. And it's gonna take a while, and that's okay. The thing that you have to understand is the way that we've been conditioned in this culture is really, really, really hard. In one sense, we hear, and this is just for the people who are in the United States, it's really hard to live here compared to other Western countries. It's really hard. They have it a lot easier. They're a lot happier than we are. We're fed a lot of lies, and that's why we have so much poverty and homelessness and all of these different types of things, and yet we're saying, hey, we're the greatest country in the world. Well, no, not really. It's really hard to live here because of the way that we're conditioned. And when you come to Buddhist practice, you're trying to unlearn all of this conditioning, and it's really hard. And we know it's hard. So that's the reason why I do this loving kindness meditation the way that I do it. Because I try to want to refocus that on you. Be loving and kind to yourself. Have loving kindness for yourself. Not because you're going to get something, just because it feels good. It feels so good to have this heart grow bigger and warmer, because that just expels all of the suffering and pain out from it. Do it because it feels good. And if you do it, and it just overflows naturally, and you're naturally kinder to other people. And all of these things that used to bother you before won't bother you as much. It just feels so fucking good. It really does, I promise you. And I don't like to swear a lot, but I'll do it this time. That's actually not true. I'm Gen X, so I love to swear. But, I try not to do it here too much. All right, so we have a couple of, I need to get my glasses for this, so I apologize. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Brian and Linda. Thank you. I don't think this is Louise. So I kind of wanted to share a little bit about that. I wanted to share about how important loving kindness for yourself is and why we do it, why it's so important. And that's the great thing I like about this practice, that, when we explain to you that you should do something, or that this is a Buddhist practice, we always say, well, why are we doing this? So we're not trying to control you. We're just trying to remove your suffering and relieve your suffering. We want you to be happier. And in the absence of suffering, there's just happiness. But, again, these waves of anxiety just continue, and they are just what they are. All right, guys. So I've spoken a lot. So now If anyone has any questions or comments about this meditation that we did on loving kindness, anything that you felt or you experienced in this meditation that you would like to share, that would be absolutely awesome. I have something online again, so excuse me. And Sherry asks, as a fellow anxiety sufferer, I always have wondered how or if anxiety fits into the three poisons: greed, anger, ignorance. It doesn't seem to fit. It seems like a fourth one. Well, with anxiety, it's just a lot of fear. So it's part of that poison. Anger, greed, it's just fear. So it's all a poison. And with the practice of loving kindness for oneself and for grounding yourself just to the present moment and smiling, it helps so much. I can't even tell you. The result of all of that for me during this meditation was that my anxiety abated because I forced it. I don't like to say force it out. I removed it with smiling, with putting my mind in a better mood, with grounding myself, and to the amount that I could, the loving kindness that I did. Because, anxiety is just a lot of fear. It's worrying about the future. It's stuck in the past, has nothing to do with what's going on in the present moment, which is why these are my practices that I do. Right? It's just one of the hindrances, or a hindrance in practice. No, I don't want to update. More from online here. We got here. Whoops. What on earth is that? Sorry. Something's happening here, and I'm not really sure what it is. Oh, my God. Well, something's happening with this computer. I apologize with that. I don't know what's happening. But half the screen is just kind of going, one blank, and it's going like this. It asked me to update, but I said postpone it.
I got something for you, Alex.
Yeah, go ahead.
I teach a script French, English, 12th grade. We just finished Siddhartha.
The what?
We just finished Siddhartha.
The book, yeah, Herman Hesse, yeah.
An amazing experience.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you would come and lead a meditation there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm inviting you.
I accept.
Awesome.
I'll give you my after class. I'll give you my number.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
The kiddos are great.
And they are great. And I have to say something just kind of based on that. So a couple of Sundays ago, I led I didn't lead a meditation, I'm sorry. I told the enlightenment story of the Buddha. I told the enlightenment story of the Buddha for the Delta Beta Tau Buddhist fraternity over at San Diego State. And I'll do that once a year when they have their pledge class. And it's just a blast every time. I love it. And the thing that I like about it the most, that encourages me, just move, get out. What is this? Why is this thing here? Oh my God, this drives me crazy. Oh, there you go. The thing about that is that I see all these young people, all these, like Gen Z folks getting into it and understanding it. And it just makes me so happy I can't even tell you how happy and encouraged I am to see all of this, because I think about myself back when I was, in high school or in my early 20s. And if you would have said anything about meditation and Buddhism, and I would have just kind of looked at you like you're stupid. I mean, I was just so full of like pain and suffering and trying to hide it by smiling all the time, this kind of a fake smile, and just doing my best to get through the day, um, without having to kind of deal with all of that past trauma, these really bad coping mechanisms. That spirituality was just like I I couldn't even fathom it. Couldn't even fathom it. Even if I didn't look at it in a spiritual way, that you wanted to say that it's just you're happier and that you're calmer, and all of those things, which is fine. A lot of people do it for those reasons. I would have said, piss off, go away. I don't want to do any of that. Uh, but now I see all these young people is like totally getting it, totally getting it. Maybe they won't like totally get into it, be monks or something like that. They don't have to be, but they're a kinder generation, and they're a more enlightened generation, and which I hope like every subsequent generation is like that. And I think that they're Gen Xers kids by and large. Um, and I'm just happy to see it. I'm just happy to see it. So I would absolutely love to do that. Happy to do that. Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you for leading a really great meditation and opening up about the things that you struggle with that I think are applicable to myself. And I just appreciate the meditation.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate you saying that. Or you told me your name before. Brian, right?
With an R.
Oh, or just Ryan. That's right. Okay. Sylvia said something. Okay. Sylvia asks, can someone that passed away send you love and kindness? Sylvia, absolutely. Yes. So I didn't provide that part of the instruction. I'm sorry I didn't. But when you're doing loving kindness for a benefactor, or when you're imagining a benefactor doing loving kindness for you, and you just have to receive that, they can be living, they can be not living. It doesn't matter, right? You have that experience of loving kindness in your heart of this person. It doesn't matter if they're living or not. You have that experience here. And so that's what you're relying on. You're relying on an experience that you already have. Right? So that's why it shouldn't feel fake or forced or anything like that, because that experience is in your own heart already. You just need to access it. So absolutely. Okay, anybody have anything else? You've all said so many nice things. I really appreciate it. Thank you again. And, the reason I share things like this is because I don't think there's any shame in it. I don't think there's so much shame in a lot of times in admitting recovery and admitting that you struggle with mental health issues. And I personally don't want there to be any stigma in that, because I know there are a lot of people in recovery who come to the Dharma Bum Temple. There's a big recovery group. And I know just by you being humans in this country that there's a lot of people who deal with mental health issues or have mental health issues, right? And I'm just one of them. I'm one of many. And you're one of many if you have them as well. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Well, I feel better. Thank you guys for being here. If there's nothing else, we'll just end the class. Let's just join our palms together at our hearts, please. And may the benefits of this meditation, this discussion, be received by all beings in all directions. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that they are, that you are. Thank you for coming. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you for sharing, just kind of listening and making me feel so good, and I hope this practice helps you and everyone else you do this for. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
You got a car?